Good evening, and welcome to the Warriors Short Play Festival. I'm Austin K. Washington, the director of Manmade by John Monteleone. The role of Yak will be played by Sean Halloran, and the role of Blab will be played by Mason Biter. I chose to direct this play because originally its absurdist philosophical lens spoke to me as the show feels like an allegory for the stages of life and is reminiscent of Socratic dialogue. The two characters acting as contrarians for each other and pondering the questions we ourselves ask as we grow up in this world of man-made meaning. I felt that the audience could really react and connect to this production because of its universality, as well as the recent existential dread that has come with being separated from each other due to the pandemic, and the self-reflection that has come from the isolation and need for stimulation, connection, and the search for meaning we have all been grappling with as we move forward through turbulent times. I hope you enjoyed this production, as I have, so sit back, relax, and I present to you Man-Made by John Monteleone.
Have you ever wondered how we do this? Have you ever wondered how one stands? It's a miracle, really.
Balance.
That's a simplification of it.
Balancing?
That's an oversimplification of it.
Balancing. Ability profound.
What I meant was,
I know what you meant. I have degrees.
oh, please, not again. Tears. That's all you do. What I meant was there's an incredible amount of intricacy, even skill in standing up. Each muscle is working intricately to help the body balance so that you don't fall over. Our brains use proteins and electricity to transit the message at light speed throughout our brains to our bodies, communicating in this. That's what one of my degrees is in. Perfect GPA.
MA, BA, PhD, PhD. Oh my, how smart we must be. S.
Impressive. Stop crying. It's bad enough as it is, let alone respond to the truth of it. Look the other way once in a while, will you?
So what? Look where it's gotten me.
I am a doctor of bilingual banana peeling and 1-foot balancing. There is no person on Earth, perhaps in the universe, that knows the complexities of balancing on 1 foot as well as I do. I am the ultimate expert. As far as peeling bananas are concerned, I studied under the great Dr. Pierre Jean-Paul Skinner, who single-handedly discovered banana peeling and its relevance to humankind's acquisition to potassium.
And I hold two. One in Filio Theo Sio Mathio harmonica blowing, and the other in plumbing genetic filioprogenitive pragmatic statistic confusion.
So we're a degreed species. Let's not degreed. We have plenty of greed, so it might be an honorable course of mandatory study. Degreed meaning we have paper the institution has given us to confirm we understand the factual philosophy of some well-assumed ideas that often end up meaning nothing. We could be wrong about everything, of course. That's not why I'm questioning this incredible ability for one to stand. No, I'm really questioning it because
You're afraid of your inner feelings, so you avoid them by concentrating on external musculature.
no,
Tired of this.
I'm not. That's incorrect. You've made an error.
It's unconscious. Stop analyzing it. What do you know? You think you could think? Ha! I don't think so. We're mere guppies to the universal mind, intelligent only enough to understand that we have pathetic, incorrect perceptions about our existence. Do you know how I know that we don't know anything? Years of unrelentless, exhaustive study.
Want another banana?
No! You weren't satisfied over there. You really need to sit next to me, invading my space, do ya?
Will you look at that?
What?
That space. Right there. What you call your space.
Where?
In front of your face. Right here. Or mine. This area here. This open, invisible void. Right in front of my face.
How are you feeling?
Fine. Can you see it?
No. But I could hear your hand rushing through the air for no apparent reason. It's worrying me.
This space is phenomenal. Just think, if we were a billion, no, a trillion, no, a trillion billion times smaller than we are now, how big would this space be to us?
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you mean.
How large? What would our relationship be to it?
Yeah. Very interesting.
Why?
I'm confused.
Over what?
My my habitual impulses and my new insight, which have transcended beyond them. Realization. Realizing the real.
Oh, really? Sounds difficult.
I know. I'm not sure if my old reactions were simply motivated by fear or some other emotion. Perhaps a mixture of them. Perhaps my perhaps my whole life has been lived in regret or resentment because I didn't receive enough love growing up. But what is enough? Perhaps it's not that at all. Perhaps I received the perfect amount of love that one should receive to have a positive self-image. Perhaps I'm running away from entrapment, which really has been love, but I didn't realize it. It could have been hate instead. I'm not sure if I feel drawn to my family because I love them, or because they represent in my mind a past identity I feel some stability from, which only exists in my mind, not in them. Most are dead. Some sense of who I am. A completeness based on a validation of who I am by familiar surroundings and events. Even memories of past events that may or may not have actually happened. But then, if I know who I was without any externals, I would know. But I don't. There is so much happening.
Might have that banana now.
You are no help. Oh my god.
Do you want me to be honest?
I am always terrified when someone asks me that question.
I don't want to help you.
But then I'll be alone with all these confused feelings.
I could care less.
No!
I don't give a damn.
I am through.
No, you're not. You're still crying. You're going through something and you'll arrive. With me or without me.
Where?
Somewhere else.
I'm lost. All my life. Lost. There's always a sense of space in the void. I'd simply do something, find things to do that I enjoy, that would take my mind off it. But after my first real loss, a loved one's death, I began to relate to it more physically. I now saw the result of meeting the void face to face, as if the void entered my dear one's body and took over it. That essence which hovers about all of us, even when we're dying, it became noticeable, then visible, then blatantly obvious that I felt it between every syllable, every note, every beat of language. My flesh, my animal, that beast inside us pulsed out of my instinctual self and my past experience. My thoughts were rampant. Beautiful, ugly, horrific, enticing, stupid, brilliant, against the void. All of that was and is compares in no way to that space, which seemingly has more power and significance than my all existence and meager understanding of its reality. Here I am from it. Certainly isn't from me. Even that brightest star came from that vacuous nothing.
Hmm.
There were times when I actually believed my thoughts, my actions, and my life was significant. I believed in my beliefs if they had any bias in the fact other than the fact that I had believed in something someone else had made up for some reason unknown to me.
I want to do something right now.
Why have meaning if there actually has some?
Look, how time flies. I have never seen the stars so fiery. It's as if they speak. They have not been listened to. All that seed them have ignored their mother, and she cries with a twinkle. There is a celebration coming. I hear it in nature. I smell it in the air. There is a possibility waiting to be found out, and I am going to win it. And do you know why? Because if we were a trillion times smaller, that rock would be a universe. Atoms and protons and electrons and quarks would be darting about that, in essence, form this orc. But to us, infinite space, stars everywhere.
Oh, dear, he is making something up.
Once upon a time, there were two children, one a boy and the other a boy. They were both trained to act like characters.
Ugh, it is going to get very insignificant to keep his attention glued to the delusion to feel alive.
I hear a mist. I feel the mist. I see it inside me. I taste it. Within the rage of thunder and the calming quiet of spring wind, I speak. The mist and the rock are the same thing. Sort of.
Do you want me to participate in your lie?
Please do.
Movement, images. They take your mind off of it, don't they?
It's wonderful.
It's avoiding what I'm saying to you.
Blab, listen to me. We could fly. We could travel across the seas, perhaps. See other people. How they've put all the confusion into a dance. We could see their little mud huts and thingamajiggies instead of our subdivisions, and we could comment on them. We could say things like, "Oh, isn't that cute? How different." And we could eat their delicacies. Eye of snake in a curried casserole instead of chicken breast in Malaise sauce.
I have a more economic idea. Why not build a huge television screen in stereophonic surround sound and watch documentaries on everything from ancient Greece to the American ghetto? We could keep switching back and forth with the remote, then listen to the news and hear who's done what god awful thing to whom. Then we'd really have a fix on it.
A handle. Something to hold on to. Yes, I like the idea. It would identify who we are somehow. And then you'd shut up.
Or we could travel and sell goods. Some of this, perhaps. commodities of convenience. Get them out of those mud huts and give them more to do. Then we can do business.
And lunch.
With them, I know. We can invent a fax.
So we could speed things up. Or cell phones and satellites.
Oh, I have an idea. Let's do something right now. Let's build something. Build.
Build what?
I don't know. Let's become productive. Oh, will you look at that? A thing.
Quite remarkable. With a history.
They called it a dildo.
That's a dildo? What do they do with dildos?
Well, it's a device to create orgasms and win them. They fuck themselves or one another instead of using.
No wonder we've been cast out into this desert. They did away with...
Cause too many problems, I suppose. Why are we doing this?
So we can sell it faster and then make another just like it?
Ah, yeah. I remember. A duplicate of the same thing.
Yes. A replica. We'll replicate it faster.
I'm finding this mundane.
Hurry. Don't think. Produce.
Right. Produce. Okay. Produce. I used to be a poet.
Shh. Concentrate. Help, I can't do this alone.
I explored my inner landscape, painting pictures of the heart and soul, the deeper being inside of me yearning to come out expressed into carefully selected words. Wordsmithing.
Shut up. Why are you stopping? Don't you have any industriousness inside of you? We've got to earn a living.
I can't do this. Commerce interferes with my art.
Of course you can. You have to. This is art.
I cannot. It's not art. It's a machine. I think.
We need the money.
I'd rather go hungry.
You will go hungry. Oh, for heaven's sake. He's almost finished. Just one more thing. His crown.
awful. What are you asking for him?
I don't know.
Perhaps you could call a modern art gallery. They might find someone who needs something to abstract about. Find some meaning or ego or fad in the blathering they do eh, about its significance and give you 100 grand for it. Ha! I think it sucks.
But it's not finished. You rushed me with your lack of cooperation.
It's a work in progress. It'll get better. I hope.
That's always the excuse.
I'm gonna work on them.
Did you call yourself a poet?
It's reprehensibly diminishing in a very rigor mortis like fashion. It's abominable. We can't leave him like this. I'm obligated to sell out to save you the embarrassment.
Ha!
We have to find out what's wrong with it so that we can discover the missing link, the essential ingredient, the theme, the underlying image to the work, so that we can build upon it, work it, until that which we have discovered is present in the work of art.
And how do you propose to do that? And if you do propose something, how am I to know that it's anything but pure fabrication? Simply to propose something that is explicitly unproposable.
I'm not going to propose anything. I'm going to respond to it, that's all. Now, are you in it with me, or are you out?
What else is there to do? Look at the desert? That tumbleweed? I suppose those would be significant in and of themselves. And you? Oh, I hate you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Yes, I did. Oh dear. It's that complexity thing again. Human human contradiction. Oh, I want to kill you. You have more talent than me. Did you create this? How marvelous. What a visionary. I'm so confused. Look what I put myself through. And for no apparent reason. I know that one day I'll be as dead as that tumbleweed and tumble across the wind forever.
Forever? Don't suggest that. Eternity is terrifying. It's so immense and long. And we're just a triple. In short, for a triple, you have no manners. No social grace. You're intolerable. You don't ever do that again. You know, I spent the better part of each moment avoiding questions and observations like that.
I'm sorry.
Look, the distance between us and there. Go on, look. Between you and I. Both separate, one further away than the other. Interesting to examine distances and spatial relationships and color relationships and form. There might as well be the stars. You're about one trivial point. So alone inside ourselves, wambling around in distance and heights unimaginable, and the stars. Only mere repetitions of the past. Past light that may not even exist anymore. They're dribbling, spouting fire, and their twinkle as if it did exist. Can we ever really know ourselves? He is who we are. We are his God. Is this what man creates to believe he is superior? Did God, whatever that is, create us like him? It's all so insignificant. It creates its own significance. We could build a future on that.
Don't be absurd.
What else can I be? I'm human.
It's a pile of junk. Don't be ridiculous.
I am ridiculous.
Don't be defensive.
I am defensive.
Repetitions.
I am.
Stop arguing like a mirror.
I can't. It's all an argument, like a mirror. It's all reflective in the end.
Stop.
I can't stop. I'm alive, you dimwit.
Then control yourself.
I am controlling myself. Or you would have been dead a long time ago, and I would be screwing her by now.
Her? Where?
My groin, seems to have a mind of its own. Sorry.
Like a dinosaur. Disgusting. Weren't you brought up Catholic?
God forbid, no! I wasn't brought up. I simply grew. Catholicism had nothing to do with it, other than interfering with reality.
I was brought up Catholic. I'm so confused. No, I don't believe I really have a penis. I believe it's someone else's. When I get, horny, I pretend it's not me, actually. But instead a demon. Someone who belongs in hell. I realize this is silly and that it's my penis. But I can't help the guilt. It was infestive. Monks. It was placed there by women in black and men in robes who worshipped a crucified savior they never met, didn't know, but believe existed. What am I saying?
Very old creature dangling down there. I'm having an experience again.
Another experience? Don't, there's no outlet.
Yeah, an old, very repetitious one without an outlet.
You mean
Yeah, I see her there in the distance. That's what suppression does, I'm afraid, but she's all of them in me. Each one a sensual motfit of lusty love, adored with fragments and bits from all the other loves and merge with them together. Yet there is a loneliness about it. And explosion. Whew. uh, it's separation. Even even in a fantasy.
they're all one thing?
But I could separate the experiences that lunge at me from inside.
Fragment them?
Separate each part to understand the whole better.
But if you separate each, then you lose what the total experience was. How is that understanding it better?
Hey, it's academic. The mutilation, you know.
The butchery,
The murders.
the violence in the act of
How we identify,
re-identify,
solidify,
categorize,
the experience into its component parts.
in order to file each part in its proper dichotomy so the total experience is,
Ambulatorized.
yes, ambulatorized, so we can discuss it with more clarity.
But not totality.
The experience?
The many experiences within the experience.
Oh, it's limbs.
Yes. The themes, the plots, the subplots, the ramifications, the subdivisible qualifications, the qualities, the elements, the subtext, the underlining meanings in the subtext, the genres, the sublidities.
Of the.
Experience.
I see. I think. How do you feel now?
It's gone.
I feel more at ease somehow too.
You weren't the object of my desire. It was a fantasy about a long lost lover I never had.
You were. You mean. Over an idea?
An image. Images. Lots of images. Moving in my mind.
Of a real experience.
No. Of an experience I never had, but I wanted.
An experience you never had. So you made it up and it caused a reaction down there as if it had actually occurred?
An erect reaction, to be blunt. I need to expel the images.
That you created but never had.
Not in itself, but with others placed in the positions in the fantasy.
So the fantasy was real to you?
Extremely real.
Am I an image?
No! But the way I see and react to you is I can't understand what it means to be you. I can only assume you are me, or if you are not. That I accept those differences. But in the differences, I place an image I can only understand, even though it won't exactly exist to you.
Complex.
For such a primitive end result, I would say so, yes.
And how do you feel now?
Come,
That's it?
intense,
Calmly tense?
euphoric, relieved, embarrassed, cold, envious, angry, in love,
All at once?
and more.
I don't believe it.
Now I want quiet.
Night is coming fast.
I'm frightened. I have nothing to do but this.
Why are you frightened?
I just. I want it all to make sense.
I know. It's terrifying.
We could enact.
Yes. Enact what?
An enactment?
An enactment. How exciting.
A thing.
A thing. Now I feel clear.
A responsibility.
Oh no.
Yes.
Not one of those.
Yes, that's the problem. Not enough burdens to force us to feel as though our actions had some meaning.
Meaning. Hmm? That word sounds familiar. I believe I went to therapy for 15 years once to learn how to cope with my search for meaning.
How'd it work?
It was meaningless.
Ah, I know the feeling. Oh, I was a therapist once, seeking to find meaning through other people's searches for meaning in an effort to avoid my meaninglessness. The only thing that I found worked for them was prophylactic or a dildo.
Now you've gone off the deep end. A rubber?
Not a condom, you idiot. A prophylactic and a hygienic view of humanity. Clean answers.
Prophylactic view of humanity. I've heard it all. Like wearing a body rubber. I'd rather simply enact.
Knowing what the definition was, to their feelings of confusion, find something they could latch onto.
Did it work?
If they were stupid enough to believe there's answers to the here human existence, it was thrilling. They found that they wanted credit cards when there really was a mystery. A mortgage focused on their minds. The thought that they wanted their mysteries to themselves seemed to make them want debt. Overworking, purchasing office equipment was salvation, it seemed. Anything to escape being. I found that the more I probed into the innocuous, the ethereal realities of their problems, that their problems were only clues to the self, rather than something to overcome, that their existence came from something they themselves could never know. that they had no real control over their lives and the wind had control over its breeze. The more they wanted churches, temples, and ice cream sundaes. It was a depressing experience.
I was in therapy, and when I went, the more I understood myself, the more I became interested in tax evasion. So I know what you mean.
The IRS. Oh, a great deterrent from the abyss. Oh, did they chase you?
For years,
Ooh, whatever became of it?
I paid them off and saw another catastrophe. Didn't work. Look where I ended up.
Oh, mine was divorce. Oh, what I'd do for a good, lacerating war of divorce. The passion, the pain, the hurt, the lost dreams, fighting over who owned the toaster if it were owned, fighting over a toaster or a VCRs if it were World War II, if the kids were damaged because of it. The worry and around behind the back, the complexity of the deception, the reaction to deception discovered. Oh, yes, 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 yes. There was so much I could do to escape from the abyss.
I did that while the IRS was chasing me.
Heaven. Pure heaven.
I was also a hypochondriac and sought the services of numerous doctors.
What symptoms did you have?
All of them. It was wonderful. Looking back, I hated the doctors. Blamed them for incompetence. Wonderful. Why are we building this?
I don't know. I feel compelled because you feel compelled.
But
Uh,
but why?
I don't know. Perhaps compulsion is contagious as well as alliteration. Do you like it?
No, it's ugly.
I don't think it's ugly. I think it's interesting.
Innovative.
There's a story in him somewhere.
All right. Let's finish him.
Or her.
It.
Equality.
What an idea.
Is it done?
No, it's a work in progress.
Then it will never be finished.
Whatever is.
Everything's like a river, I suppose. What kind of gods are we to let something this hideous, this unfinished exist?
Terrible gods.
We have
We
to.
have to complete it.
Ha! Look at it. Looks lonely. Alone.
Dead. It looks dead.
Looks like let's make it look more alive.
Not sure we can.
We have to try. I need a role while I do this. It's not enough to simply create it. Who am I in it? That's the important thing. We need People's Magazine to do an article.
Perhaps a review in the Times.
Yes. Critical success would do the trick.
Yes. A defined role. Oh, yes.
What I do for a role.
We could embark on a mission. Have false reasons for existing.
False reasons for existing. That sounds wonderful. But how?
If only we had a customer.
Customer. Yes. Now you're on to something. Something to buy from us. What an idea. Maybe this.
But it's not finished.
If they want to buy it as is, we simply call it Untitled.
What an idea.
If we could only sell it, be paid for creating it. It's truth. There's no doubt about it. It came from us, the artiste. And there it is.
A sale. If not him, then at least all this other
Junk.
stuff.
Quality merchandise.
The highest quality merchandise.
Made out of the finest goods.
By craftsmen around the world. Assembled here in our little shop.
That we are proud of. Very, very proud of.
That we sacrificed to create.
Yes, we are the proprietors of this little stuff shop, and we are in business to serve our fellow man.
And women, don't be misogynist.
Oh, of course not. We're contemporary people, co-ed minded. Okay then, let's set up shop.
This feels better, doesn't it?
Oh, much better.
All right. Now what do we do?
We have our products and our store. We could keep books, account for things.
And have order forms.
And hire a delivery boy.
Or girl.
We could divide up our business into departments. So we could categorize everything.
And advertise specifically what we sold.
Yes, we could advertise.
He'd enter.
Or she.
Or both. Right through the door.
A coupon in his hand from our advertisement.
And we'd greet him.
Hello, sir.
Ma'am.
Sir, ma'am, or ma'am, sir.
How may we be of help to you, sir, ma'am, or ma'am, sir?
It's our pleasure to serve you, sir, ma'am, or ma'am, sir.
A delight.
An honor.
A job.
Yes, we have a job. We are part of a community. We're part of an idea in the world. We'd be working on. The president would be thrilled. He might even get reelected.
Sir, ma'am.
Or ma'am, sir. Would you like a toaster?
By all means.
Let me get that for you on the double.
Would you like that gift wrapped?
Sent abroad.
First class, express mail, FedEx.
UPS, airborne, hand delivered, or courier pigeon, sir, ma'am, or ma'am, sir.
We could have our delivery boy.
Or girl.
Or both deliver it right to the front door.
fully gift wrapped.
And it comes with a limited guarantee, sir, ma'am, or ma'am, sir.
Limited, but not warranted.
More warranted than limited.
Le-
Less guaranteed than warranted.
But fully protected, and you can purchase at a small additional fee.
More small than additional.
An extended limited warranty.
More extended
And warranted.
than limited, but definitely limited.
And we back all of our products.
If we fail due to the limitations in the warranty,
Then you go straight to the manufacturer and he'll replace it at no extra charge.
almost all of the parts and labor required to repair this fine toaster,
Almost all.
except the limitations set forth in the contract at the bottom of the toaster in fine print.
Which are rare if they exist at all.
And if those two fail and you purchase the extended limited warranty,
Haha. And the toaster malfunctions.
after the basic limited warranty expires,
Then the insurance company who sells the extended limited warranty product
will take care of almost all the parts and labor set forth in the contract.
on the bottom of the toaster in fine print.
More all,
Then almost,
and our delivery boy,
or girl.
or both, will deliver it back to you in perfect working order.
So you will have toast!
Seems a bit overdone.
Not as good as divorce or the IRS.
Perhaps we could have a fight?
Nah. No more of that. I'm retired. I was exhausted and they retired me. Don't know why they call it retiring. Should be rejuvenating. That thought just tired me out. I'm gonna take a nap.
Do people really need toast?
Of course. So stop shit up. Now for that.
I'll admit it felt good to say all that. But what happens if something really goes wrong?
Well,
Who are we in all of that?
I feel so lost to the actions. It's true.
I was involved in too much activity to notice what I was thinking or feeling.
I'm lost. Inside of me, there's a landscape so long and wide that the eyes cannot see its scope. I know it. Only when I'm silent and then I'm inside another level of reality that frightens me because we never build our world from that dimensional reality. What I would do to be stupid.
You are stupid.
I resent that. Although appreciate it simultaneously.
Are you offended?
Yeah, this could be the end of our relationship. The end of something, like our last breath.
I can't seem to get angry about all of that. I'm
I
too burnt out.
know. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I'm burnt out too. Now for that nap.
Being offended used to work so well. Disgusted hurt. Remember?
I'm too tired to remember. I'm retired. Double knocked out. Let me go inside for a moment, since you won't allow me to lay on the sand. It's like twilight sleep, dozing off into the dreams. Dreams that only live while we're awake. But it's hidden behind the eyes.
A landscape?
Yeah, I see it. A landscape of our world. A landscape within. So long and wide the eyes cannot see its full image. It's felt. Oh, to let it live.
What is it?
Something amazing. Otherworldly. You should try it. Close your eyes.
So, my character is Yak, and in the story, to me, in the story, Yak is, well, Yak and Blab are both sort of like two halves of a mind, if that makes sense. And Yak is more of the um, carefree kind of an individual. Like he has like, because he says he has these degrees, but like they're they're fake degrees that you could get anywhere. But he boasts about them everywhere. So he's sort of that, you know, he doesn't really realize the important things. Like I see it as he doesn't realize the important things until like it's too late. Because like like at the end, Blab is more like Blab is more ready to fall asleep than Yak is, and Yak is he's sort of he's it's that that fight, that urge to stay alive, keep go, like the basic urge, like or like stay alive, but they don't really. He doesn't really think about like what his existence means in a way, like sort of a partially a foil to Blab, in my opinion, or from what I gathered.
All right, I'll go now. So, what can I tell you about Blab and why is she important to the story? Well, with philosophy, there's never really a clear, definite answer on what is or why is or how is or anything along those lines. Um, but Blab's whole philosophy is that we aren't really us. We are more components of just external events and people. Um, like being raised by your family, interacting with your friends, and then having stuff come up, like you mentioned, a death in the family. Like he's not him; he's just more of like a reaction of to what's around him. So he's wondering this age-old questions like how much of him is actually him compared to how much of him is made up of other things. And so when it comes to that, he's saying he's nothing. He's just in the void, a void of nothingness. And so, what do? We fill up that nothingness with our hobbies. Some of us we have jobs, we have school, we have friends, we have other things to do to fill up that void. And so, even then, when he and Blab are in this like sales pitch, he's filling that void with selling this toaster. So it's about filling things up in life, but also trying to find who you are and see how much of you is you and how much of you is other.
My experience working with Austin was very pleasant, very chilled, lay back, but also um, like productive, and that's a he really does. In my opinion, I think he does balance productivity with um, still like having fun and being chilled. Like he balances it really well, um, and I think students should get involved with the Warrior Short Play Festival because it it's sort of an like I guess in a way an indie production, like an indie theater production. You have like it. Trying to think of how to phrase this. You are you can be exposed to a lot of different like ideas and it's it's essentially theater, but with people who are new to the field and um, it's I don't know, it's a fun experience. I'm not good with phrasing things.
So, my experience working with Austin was a pleasure and professional. Um, Austin has a good blend of keeping things casual, where it's like, okay, he's easy to talk to. You're allowed to share and collaborate ideas with one another. So it's not just like, I'm the director, you do this. It's like the actor has some feedback. Maybe I can do this, and he's open to it. Which instead of it just being like more of a lecture, it's more of a discussion. And so if things work, we do it. And if things don't work, it's like, okay, we tried. Um, and so he does that excellent blend of keeping things professional, but also being easy to talk to. And the schedule is very flexible too, which is, I think, very important for, us college kids or working kids. On to the next question. Why should students get involved with the Warriors Short Play Festival? It's theater, and whether if you're a veteran on stage or if you're new to it, the arts have been have been taking a back seat for the pandemic. There's been some alternative media for theater, whether it be Zoom plays or just stage reads. It's still having that outlet for theater is wonderful. And if you're a veteran, it's great to stretch those acting muscles. But if you're new to the scene, which is like we've all been there before, it's enjoyable and a lot of fun. And you never know what you might like. And so we all were a stranger to hobbies at one point, and all it took was that certain leap to get into it.